In this example, we will explain consumer surplus using the demand curve. As we know, demand is the buyer's willingness to buy at different price levels. For example, at $40, there is no buyer. No buyer is willing to pay $40. At lower prices, let's say at $39, $37, $36, $35, we have additional buyers. We have new buyers entering the market because these buyers are willing to pay $39, $36, $35. And at lower prices, more buyers with willingness to pay that price are entering the market. So the question here, find marginal buyers' willingness to pay at 10 units. So the 10 units is here. And when we look at the demand curve, the additional buyer is entering the market willing to buy the 10th unit and also willing to pay $30. Here we have the marginal buyer's willingness to pay at $30. So let's put that here. So the marginal buyer's willingness to pay is 30. Okay, now we need to find a consumer surplus for $30. Let's assume that the price is $30. What is the consumer surplus? At $30, all these buyers will enter the market. All of these buyers will participate in this market because they're all willing to pay. Their willingness to pay is either $30 or more. And what is the consumer surplus? Again, it is the difference between the buyer's willingness to pay and the price actually they pay. In this case, it's $30. So these buyers will have higher consumer surplus, but the additional buyers whose willingness to pay is less than $40 but more than $30, they will all enter the market, and each of these buyers will have a consumer surplus. So if we add up all the buyers' consumer surpluses, we'll have the total consumer surplus, which is the total area of this triangle. Basically, consumer surplus is the difference between the buyer's willingness to pay and the price they actually pay. And it is this entire red area. We can calculate it. Let's find that out. So we have 10 units here, and we have 10 units here. And consumer surplus would be the area of that triangle, and that would be $50. Now let's suppose that the price falls to $20. Let's mark that using another color. When the price falls to $20, that means additional buyers will enter the market. Now we have buyers willing to pay less than $30, but more than $20. So all these buyers will enter the market, and the consumer surplus, of course, will increase because of these additional buyers. But it's not just that. The existing buyers' consumer surplus will increase. So now let's take a look at how the consumer surplus increases as the price falls. And we can tell how much the consumer surplus will increase due to buyers entering the market. Okay, so we see that these are the new buyers. Now they have consumer surpluses. So the consumer surplus will increase by this much due to buyers entering the market. And also, the consumer surplus will increase due to existing buyers paying a lower price. Now these existing buyers' consumer surplus will increase by this amount. Now we can calculate the new consumer surplus with the additional buyers and existing buyers increased consumer surplus. That'll be the area of this red triangle and all the orange area. So let's do that. Now we have this 20 units here, and we have 20 units here. And let's calculate that area, the area of that triangle, and that'll be 200. Dollars. As we see here, consumer surplus will change as the price changes in a market. Of course, we only have the demand side of the market here. We don't know the actual price. We're just saying if the price is $30, the consumer surplus will be the red triangle, and if the price is $20, the consumer surplus will be the combination of the red triangle and all the orange areas.